Mink DeVille, Chez 106, from the album Return to Magenta, thus named because of the color of the cover, and Guardian Angel. We heard Rod Stewart doing a Cat Stevens tune. The first cut is the deepest. The lonely one came from Dave Mason with some gorgeous harmonica from Stevie Wonder. And we started out this morning with Fiore Seguin and 200 Nuits à l'heure. Bonjour and good morning. I'm Jaime Wohl, and I'll be with you till noon.
Saturday, August the 5th at 6 p.m., you must spread your wings that will be soaring at the Rideau Carleton Raceway during the biggest outdoor festival Ottawa has ever seen. For just $15, you can fly with the Eagles, presented by CHEZ 106. Tickets available at all Treble Clef record stores for the Eagles. Saturday, August the 5th, presented by CHEZ 106.
As I was walking over here this morning, the moon was out, and it was the most amazing thing. Shadows covered the moon back and forth. Like first it was bright white, and then it turned dark hazy, and I'm not sure what that means. The full moon was a few days ago. It's on the wane. But there's a song talking about waking up and seeing the moon by a group called Fairport Convention, and I thought of it all the way over here. CHEZ 106, I Have Waited So Long. That's new from the long-awaited New Foreigner album, which is called Double Vision. We heard You Tell Me That I'm Falling Down from Linda Ronstadt, and that's a Kate and Anna McGarrigle song. It's on her album Prisoner in Disguise. And as Brian the Source Murphy walked out, he told me that Kate and Anna McGarrigle are in the studio finishing their third album. We heard Flying Saucery from Al Stewart and Fairport Convention, Rising for the Moon. 25 minutes before 7, good morning. It's 25 degrees, and it should be cloudy like this most of the day, with a few breaks in the afternoon for the sun to peep through, and clearing perhaps by tonight. Low temperature tonight, 15. The high today is predicted to be 27.
Hello, I'm Ken Rockburn. I hope you'll join me for the week on Sunday morning at 9 this Sunday morning, highlights of the past week's editions of CHEZ Ottawa. This week on the program, we'll be talking to conceptual artist Stephen W. Long, whose final work of art, he says, will be his own death. We'll also hear from well-known American leftist lawyer William Kunstler about plans for a massive benefit concert in New York City next month for fugitive Yippie leader Abby Hoffman. We'll also find out about a study that indicates that juvenile detention centers do more harm than good. We'll talk to a man who set up a group called Dope Smokers Anonymous, and members of an international farm commune will be in to talk about their work in the Third World. All of that and the music of saxophonist Stanley Turrentine at 9 o'clock on the week on Sunday morning. Please join me then.
Louisiana's LaRue and Take a Ride on a Riverboat. It's from their debut album, and it's an album that a lot of people around here are really getting into. Louisiana's LaRue. And we heard When You Awake from the band from their classic second album that is generally known as the Brown One. Baker Street came from Jerry Rafferty, and that song has got to be probably the song of the summer. It's a little early to say something like that, but I'll risk it. Penny Lane began that set of music from the Beatles. It's now 7 minutes before 7 in the morning, CHEZ 106. Jaime Wohl with you, and I've got some Seals and Crofts, The Year of Sunday. From the album One of These Nights, that's the Eagles, and Take It to the Limit, and there ain't no way I'm missing out on that concert. It's only 2 weeks away, the 5th of August. That should be just an incredible show. I've always wanted to see the Eagles, too. Before that, we heard a comrade of the Eagles, Jackson Browne, from his second album, For Every Man, with I Thought I Was a Child. And Angelique was from Kenny Loggins. He has a new album out. And that song was co-written by his new bride, Eva, I presume she's changing her name. No, actually, she kept her name, Eva Ein, Kenny Loggins' wife, on that song, Angelique. And Year of Sunday, the ideal Sunday morning song, Seals and Crofts. And I have to admit, when I was rudely awakened by my alarm clock this morning, there was nothing I wanted less than to get out of bed. But when I got outside, it's really kind of magical to be up on a Sunday morning. With so few people around, you can sort of walk on the street instead of on the sidewalk. And it feels so cool, even though it's warm, because the sun isn't up yet. And you sort of feel like you're in some kind of secret club. No one else is up. And you're getting a great big head start on the day. It's 15 minutes past 7 now. I'm Jaime Wohl, CHEZ 106.
Perhaps you were sleeping and didn't notice, but last night the planet Earth plunged into interplanetary conflict.
The leaden sky was lit by green flashes, cylinder following cylinder, and no one and nothing was left now to fight them. The Earth belonged to the Martians.
At 9 o'clock tonight, CHEZ 106, you are asked to participate in the final battles of the War of the Worlds, a new version of the H.G. Wells classic by Jeff Wayne, narrated by Richard Burton. Do not panic. Do not leave your radios. At 9 o'clock, the war must go on.
A very, very good morning to you. That's Eric Anderson and the Moonchild River Song. It's on his album Be True to You. And before that, we heard Miracles, of course, from the Jefferson Starship. The Overture and Cotton Avenue. That's Joni Mitchell on her latest, Don Juan's Reckless Daughter, and Gordon Lightfoot with Daylight Katie. The daylight is certainly here, still hazy though. It's 25 degrees. If you're just getting up, it's going to be a muggy one again. Temperature's up to 27, but the chance of rain is pretty well 0 for the day, and it's even a chance it'll clear up this evening. I'm Jaime Wohl. I'm glad to be here this morning. It's 23 minutes before 8 o'clock. Here's how Treble Clef Stereo will fill your life with music for less. Today they have a no-interest, no-carrying charge sale. You can choose the stereo system you want or any of the name brand components at a minimum of $200, and Treble Clef will arrange to have you pay for it over a 12-month period with no interest or carrying charges. Come to the open house at the Stereo Surplus Center today. Yeah, that's right, today. Even though it's Sunday, they'll be there from noon to 5 p.m. And it's at 1050 Baxter Road. And they'll tell you more about their Treble Clef's no interest, no carrying charge sale. Well, I was pleasantly surprised to see a new Bruce Cockburn album out. It's called The Further Adventures of Bruce Cockburn. And here's a song about my hometown. It's called A Montreal Song. Bruce Cockburn, CHEZ 106. Jesse Winchester and Yankee Lady, a song I've always had a fond feeling for, considering I was born one myself. That's from his first album, and just the other day we received the new Jesse Winchester album called A Touch on the Rainy Side. I'm sure we'll be featuring it soon. Before Jesse Winchester, Maria Muldaur from her second album, and a song called Gringo in Mexico, written by Wendy Waldman. And at the start, Chilliwack from their new record, and The Arms of Mary, an old Sutherland Brothers song. Which brings us to 4 minutes after 8. Good morning to you. I'm Jamie, and it's 26 degrees and hazy in Ottawa at the moment.
Now listen and listen tight. The Eagles are riding into town August the 5th, and the CHEZ Desperados plan to make them feel right to home. We're holed up here at 106 with a shipment of pure gold Eagles concert tickets and special edition t-shirts. Get ready for your chance to take a shot at an Eagles trivia question. You just might ride off into the sunset at Rideau Carleton Raceway on the 5th of August. Take it to the limit. Winners live to see the concert, but the CHEZ Desperados will bury all losers in a clean shirt. a special edition Shea 106 and Eagles t-shirt. Load up. What you don't know might kill you.
Shea 106, this is the Mark Allman Band, and One Way Sunday, and that it is. Shea 106, that's Shadow Captain from Crosby, Stills, and Nash. And don't forget, we've missed the show. They didn't come to Ottawa. They were in Montreal. And I really wanted to see that last Tuesday. I heard from a friend. It was just fabulous. Before Crosby, Stills, and Nash, Popeye the Sailor from a guy named Kinky Friedman. And speaking of the Spinach Sailor, they're making a movie about Popeye, and it's not just one of your cartoon-type movies either. They're getting Dustin Hoffman to play Popeye, and Lily Tomlin, the comedian, to play his lover Olive Oil, and it might even be an adult movie, for all we know. Before Popeye, we heard Come Monday from Jimmy Buffett, and there's a guy who's been trying for an awfully long time to make it, and finally he did with Margaritaville. But that was from an earlier album, which has a great title called Living and Dying in Three-Quarter Time, and we heard Come Monday, and at the start of that set of music, One Way Sunday from the Mark Allman Band. And it's 22 minutes after 8. Hey, wouldn't Jimmy Buffett be a good idea to open for the Eagles? They still haven't decided or had any acts signed yet for that concert. I'd really like to see Jimmy Buffett, I suppose, though it might be difficult if he's playing somewhere else that night. Jaime Wohl here, Shea 106, and I just wanted to remind you about Open Quarter, which is our show we have on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday evenings at 11 with Steve Caldwell and the music of a Shea listener. See, what you do is you send in a list up to 4 of your favorite songs, and you tell us why you'd like to have them on the air. If you've never been on the radio, it's a really great opportunity to get the kind of music you like, which probably is the same type of music we like, on the air, and sort of let people into it. And for doing this, you get a free album, courtesy of Shea 106. So try Open Quarter. You get your name on the air, too. The address here is 126 York Street in Ottawa, and if yours gets chosen, it'll be on a Monday, Wednesday, or Friday evening at 11 on Open Quarter, Shea 106. You really got a hold on me. Eddie Money, Shea 106, from his debut album. And we heard Sometimes from Jonathan Edwards, Dust in the Wind, Kansas, and Ian Tamblyn with Love Will Away. And there was a nice article in the Journal about Ian's experiences performing in Greenwich Village, a couple months ago. Talks about how it'll be a nice thing to tell his grandchildren about. It's 24 minutes before 9 in the morning. You're with Jaime Wohl until noon. And don't forget, at 9 o'clock, the week of Shea Ottawa, Simon and Garfunkel, and it's called Kathy's Song. That song about the Midway. It's a Joni Mitchell song, but the voice is different. It's Bonnie Raitt's voice from the album Streetlights. And we heard Stand By Me, also not done by the original, which in that case was Benny King. That was the Poussette Dart Band on their 3rd album, doing a quite nice rendition of the classic song, rock and roll song. And Simon and Garfunkel at the start with Kathy's Song, all Shea 106 at 20 minutes before 6 o'clock. I hope your weekend went well and that you're somewhat prepared for this Monday morning. It's 15 degrees, so I suggest a sweater might be in order for this morning, although you probably won't need it this afternoon, as it'll be around 26 at some point today.
Little light, the sun's gonna shine all day. It's time for a Coke, 'cause it ain't no joke. The sun's gonna shine all day. Hey, the sun's gonna shine all day. Coca-Cola, before the day gets older. Coke gets light, and everybody wants a little Coke gets light. Coca-Cola adds life.
Well, figuratively, it might be sunny all day, but literally, we can just expect clouds and haze and warm temperatures. It says the highest will be 28 this afternoon. It's already 26, and there's a chance of a little bit of clearing up this evening, but showers are not predicted for the next while, and Monday is supposed to be a little cooler and a little clearer. Your car with the window open. 26 minutes before 9 o'clock. Music now from Tom Rush. This is a Joni Mitchell song that she's never put on an album, called Urge for Going. Please Come Home, Jewel-Eyed Judy. That's early Fleetwood Mac from the album Kiln House, Shea 106. We heard The Light of Day, and that's from the new Little River Band album Sleeper Catcher, group from Australia. It's their third album. Van Morrison, Into the Mystic, and Tom Rush doing a very nice version of a very nice Joni Mitchell song. And you can't find that song, as I said, on an album. The only way you can hear Joni Mitchell sing Urge for Going is by buying the 45 of You Turn Me On, I'm a Radio, and it's on the other side. 1 minute before 9 o'clock, I'm Jaime Wohl, Shea 106. Well, I'm going to go brew myself a cup of tea, sit back, and enjoy the best of Shea Ottawa with Ken.
Well, good morning and welcome to The Week on Sunday Morning. I'm Ken Rockburn, and between now and 11 o'clock, some highlights of the past week's editions of Shea Ottawa.
It's exactly 11 o'clock on a Sunday morning, Shea 106. A very good morning to you. I'm Jaime Wohl, and I'll be here for one more hour. This is Neil Young from the album Zuma. A review in a national magazine said that now that we've got Bruce Springsteen back, we don't have to deal with imitators like Meatloaf anymore. Bruce Springsteen, Prove It All Night from Darkness on the Edge of Town, the Atlanta Rhythm Section, and Imaginary Lover, and we heard Neil Young from Zuma, Don't Cry No Tears Around Me. 12 minutes after 11, and speaking of Meatloaf, most of us saw him fall off the stage a few months ago at the Civic Center. He seems to have a penchant for doing that sort of thing. He was unharmed in Ottawa, but a few weeks ago, he fell off the stage and broke his leg, and he's in a very large cast. 28 degrees outside, Shea 106 and Leonard Cohen. Through the magic of radio, we can pretend that the sun is shining, even if it isn't, just by playing a couple songs about the sun. That was Bob Marley and the Wailers from the album Kaya, and we heard George Harrison's Here Comes the Sun from the Beatles. And speaking of George Harrison, not only is he the youngest Beatle, he's also the only Beatle with no offspring. But not for long. His girlfriend, Olivia Arias, who used to be a secretary at Dark Horse Records, George Harrison's label, and he are expecting a child in August. Suzanne started that set off from Leonard Cohen. It's 25 past 11. Jaime Wohl with you until Steve Caldwell at noon. Here's how Treble Clef Stereo will fill your life with music for less during their no interest, no carrying charge sale. You can choose the stereo system you want or any of the brand name components at a minimum of $200. And Treble Clef will arrange for you to pay for it over a 12-month period with no interest or carrying charges. Come to the open house at the Stereo Surplus Center today. Yes, that's right. They're open on Sunday, just this afternoon, from noon to 5. It's at the Baxter Center, 1050 Baxter Road. and they'll tell you more about the treble clef. No interest, no carrying charges sale. From Steely Dan's fourth album, Katie lied, that's Any World That I'm Welcome To. We heard Eric Clapton with some vocal help from Bob Dylan on sign language. Still the same, Bob Seger, and Harmonium and Pour un Instant from their first album, CHEZ 106. It's 21 minutes before noon. By the way, all the City of Ottawa's indoor pools, the RA pool, and the wading pools are open today. And if you're a nonconformist, free public ice skating from approximately 1:15 to 3:30 at Sandy Hill and Canterbury Arenas. And it is really hot. Either of those activities would be quite welcome this afternoon. It's 28 degrees. There's a chance of a few showers or thunder showers today, moderate winds, and some sunny periods perhaps later in the afternoon. I guess that all depends whether it rains or not. Tomorrow, warm again, and few clouds, little bit of sun. 28 degrees and going up. CHEZ 106, that's Thijs van Leer, the flautist that used to be in Focus, from his new album, Nice to Have Met You. We heard Jethro Tull, Living in the Past, and The Boys in the Trees, a song about Carly Simon returning to her childhood home. It's 8 minutes before Steve Caldwell. CHEZ 106 congratulates Kathy Campbell of Aylmer, Quebec, because she correctly identified the 2 July cancers from our contest, the people at CHEZ that were born under the sign of Cancer. She'll be picking up a copy of the new Springsteen LP and become eligible for the draw of a 10-speed bicycle. If you know your astrology, you can win too. Send a birthday greeting to the 2 CHEZ Cancers you think are born this month. It may be in the stars for you to win. The address is 126 York Street.
Today's tip-top lecture, the ins and outs of Pioneer stereo equipment. It is most intriguing, class, that an incomprehensible number of people suffer from the inability to comprehend the invaluable contribution of Pioneer stereo equipment to the music world. These indecisive innocents are plagued with an increasingly high incidence of inventory sale ineptitude. In other words, class, they actually miss all the great Pioneer sales.